The K-pop world is once again shaken, not by a new music release or a grand concert, but by a humanitarian act that has rocked the entertainment industry. Jungkook, member of BTS, has officially donated 60 trillion Korean won, equivalent to more than 700 trillion rupiah, to support global autism treatment and research. Not only that, his partner and global superstar Lisa of Blackpink also contributed a significant amount and is paving the way for autism care in Southeast Asia. A press conference that shocked the world that morning, at the main building of the Seoul Medical Research Institute, hundreds of media outlets from around the globe gathered. Camera flashes fired non-stop as Jungkook, dressed in an elegant black suit, stepped up to the podium with Lisa by his side in an all-white ensemble. Behind them, a large screen read, "Global Autism Healing Initiative, powered by Jungkook and Lisa." "This is not about me," Jungkook began his speech. "This is about all children, teens, and adults with autism who deserve support, treatment, and a dignified life. We are here for them." The room erupted in applause. Lisa, standing beside him, appeared to hold back tears. Jungkook's personal motivation. In an interview session, Jungkook revealed that his inspiration came from personal experience with someone very close to him who has lived with autism since childhood. "I witnessed their struggles firsthand, how the world can be unkind, and how they often lack access to proper mental health care and therapy," Jungkook said, his voice trembling. He shared that after completing his mandatory military service, he had time to deeply reflect on what true contribution means beyond the stage. "In the military, I had time to think deeply, and I realized that maybe now is the time to use everything I have for something much greater than fame." Donation breakdown. What will be done with 60 trillion won? The massive donation will be distributed across several key areas. 15 trillion won to build international autism research centers in South Korea, Japan, Thailand, and Indonesia. 10 trillion won for scholarships for autistic children around the world. 20 trillion won for sensory therapy programs, medical staff training, and genetic research. Another 10 trillion won for public education and advocacy programs. The remaining 5 trillion won will be an endowment fund to sustain these programs for decades. Lisa Blackpink's active role. Usually private about her life, Lisa stood firm beside Jungkook. She not only contributed a large, unspecified donation, but also took on the role of global ambassador for autism advocacy. "I grew up in Thailand, and I know how difficult it is to access therapy for children with special needs, especially in rural areas. I want to be their voice," Lisa said, visibly emotional. She also announced that her family would open a free autism therapy center in her hometown of Buriram. Global response. From Elon Musk to UNICEF. It didn't take long for the news to go viral worldwide. Hashtags like #Jungkook for Autism and #Lisa Heals trended at #1 globally on X, formerly Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Elon Musk posted on X, "This is what true influence looks like. Salute to Jungkook and Lisa for showing the world how power and purpose can come together." UNICEF Korea released an official statement, "We are amazed and moved. This support could change millions of lives." ARMY and Blink, "This is why we love them." Reactions from BTS's ARMY and Blackpink's Blink fandoms were overwhelming. Many posted emotional videos, some cried tears of joy, and others created digital murals as a tribute. "I wasn't a hardcore Jungkook fan before, but today, he became my role model," said a netizen from Brazil. Inspirational film and documentary projects. The impact didn't stop there. A UK-based production house reportedly contacted Jungkook's team to develop a Netflix documentary about his humanitarian journey. Lisa has also approved a short YouTube docuseries featuring real stories of autistic children who will benefit from the donation. The touching conclusion. True love is giving. At the end of the conference, Jungkook and Lisa stood center stage, holding hands. The lights dimmed, and Jungkook delivered his closing remarks. "We always talk about love in our lyrics. Today, I realized that true love isn't just about one person, it's about the whole world. And love is real when we give." Lisa added, "We're not perfect, but we want to make this world a little better." 20 minutes that changed K-pop and the world. The world will remember this date, June 25, 2025, not only as the day of the largest donation in K-pop history, but also as a turning point proving that idols are more than just entertainers. Jungkook and Lisa have shown that fame can become a beacon of hope for those living in the shadows. Worldwide announcement. Global Autism Healing Initiative. In an emotional speech, Jungkook declared that he personally donated 60 trillion Korean won, over $40 billion to fund treatment, research, education, and advocacy for autism across countries, starting with South Korea, Southeast Asia, and expanding to Africa and Latin America. The world has ignored the realities of children on the autism spectrum for too long. I've seen it up close, and I can no longer be a bystander, Jungkook said, voice trembling. Lisa gently held Jungkook's hand and added, "We believe every child and family deserves hope. Today, we want to be a part of that hope." Personal motivation. From experience TOACTION. In an exclusive interview with both local and international media, Jungkook revealed that his greatest motivation came from a personal story he had never publicly shared. "Someone very dear to me has lived with autism since childhood. I grew up watching them fight every day to be understood, accepted, and loved. What's even more painful is that they had to struggle in a system that gave them no space," Jungkook shared. After finishing his military service 2 months ago, he went through a period of deep emotional and spiritual reflection. "I asked myself, after all this fame and success, what really matters? And the answer came, giving." How the 60 trillion won will be USD. Jungkook appointed expert teams from Korea, Germany, Japan, and the United States to ensure that the funds are used transparently and effectively. The allocation is as follows: 15 trillion won to build 20 international autism therapy and research centers in Korea, Japan, Thailand, Indonesia, Vietnam, and India. 10 trillion won for global scholarships for children with autism, covering education, therapy, and family training. 20 trillion won dedicated to developing tech-based innovative therapies, medical staff training, and genetic/neurological research. 10 trillion won for advocacy and public education, including media campaigns, teacher training, and creating inclusive school units. 5 trillion won to be placed in a long-term independent endowment to ensure the sustainability of these programs for decades. This is not a short-term project. It's a lifelong movement, Jungkook stated firmly. Lisa Blackpink, global ambassador and major donor. Lisa also declared her full involvement in the project. She announced her role as global ambassador for the Autism Healing Initiative and personally made a major donation. While the amount was not officially disclosed, internal sources claimed Lisa contributed around 2 trillion won, approximate $1.5 billion USD, designated specifically for establishing the Lalisa Autism Healing Center in Thailand. "I saw, growing up in Buram, how children like this were excluded from schools, even from their own families. I want to reverse that. We must be their protectors," Lisa said with tearful eyes. She also announced a mini-documentary series on YouTube showcasing autistic children in rural Southeast Asia, set for release next year. Worldwide praise from global figures and organizations. Soon after the announcement, the world responded. The hashtags #Jungkook for Autism and #Lisa Heals topped global trends within 6 hours. Hundreds of celebrities, world leaders, and public figures voiced their support. Elon Musk, "What Jungkook and Lisa just did is revolutionary. They didn't just change K-pop, they're changing